Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all my panelists. My name is Ahmad Izzuddin Bin Abd Razak and my supervisor is Encik Ammar bin Abd Rahman. Today I will be presenting my final year project and the title is Study of Tensile Properties on Heat-Treated THIXOFORMED Aluminium Alloy. As an introduction, the A356 aluminum alloy has been the most widely used due to its benefits such as high strength-to-weight ratio, excellent gas stability for near net shape, and wear resistance. In recent years, there seems to be a growing interest in a range of non-dendritic feedstock manufacturing technique for semi-solid metal processing. The improved mechanical characteristics could be observed by several testing such as hardness test, fatigue test, and tensile test. For the problem statement, die casting is difficult to reach the minimum fracture elongation of 50% required by the automobile industry in safety essential parts. THIXOFORMED is strongly necessary by the automotive industry as it can enhance the elongation and mechanical properties of the material. Other than THIXOFORMED process, the mechanical properties of the material can be improving by heat treatment process. For my objective for this research is first, to discover the yield strength of the THIXOFORMED A356 aluminum alloy. Second is to study the tensile properties of aluminum alloy between THIXOFORMED and casting process. And the third is to investigate the enhancement of heat treatment on the microstructure of A356. For my scope in this research is first, A356 as the main specimen material. Second is it will using mechanical stirring for THIXOFORMED process. And third is for the testing, Universal Testing Machine UTeM with ASTM E8M standard for tensile test. And lastly is A356 is performed with T6 heat treatment. For my literature review, there are several articles and journals that I use as my reference to understand more about my topic. From the article and journal, I can understand their process and testing, and also their result I can use to strengthen my result of experiment. This is flowchart for my methodology in this research. First, I will start with problem and objective identification. After that, I will do journal and article research to understand more about casting, THIXOFORMED, and tensile testing process. Then, I will set up the experiment and also do the specimen preparation. Once the specimen has been made, it will undergo tensile testing, and after the result has been found, I will finish it with conclusion. After that, this is the process flowchart for the sample preparation. For the sample preparation, first, this investigation carried out on 400 grams of A356 aluminum alloy. Second, the A356 alloy with 400 grams is melting at temperature up to 700 degrees in an induction furnace. Then the temperature will be reduced and maintained at 650 degrees. Third, after that, the alloy will mechanically stir at 200 rpm. Once the mechanical stir has been done, the alloy will immediately pour into a mold to form a billet of THIXO feedstock. After that, the THIXOFORMED will be conducted using T30 80 kHz machine. The billet will be put in the pneumatic cylinder ramp inside the induction coil and heat to its semi-solid temperature 580 degrees. After that, the THIXOFORMED process, the product sample has been produced, and then it will put in the Nebeldum furnace for the heat treatment at 540 degrees for 8 hours. After done all the sample preparation, the testing machine for this sample will conduct by using optical microscopy for the microstructure investigation, and the tensile testing will be using 400 kilonewton universal testing. So for next chapter is result and discussion. There are three results of microstructure for THIXOFORMED sample that I get from the optical microscopy. First, the microstructure of after mechanical stirring. The globular or rosette structure of the composite were non-uniform. The size and roundness of the microstructure between the two precursor composites slightly differ. Second, after THIXOFORMED, the material have caused an EQX primary alpha aluminum. This is caused by the coalition of alpha aluminum and dissolution of beta silicon during the isothermal holding, leading to increased mechanical strength. And lastly, after the T6 heat treatment, the T6 heat treatment sample show the further coarsening of alpha aluminum globule. Most of the plate-like eutectic silicon particles were transformed into a round shape and embedded in between alpha aluminum globule. For the casting sample, the microstructure observation of as cast A356 alloy that some eutectic silicon particles are more or less spherical, but most of them still exhibit a longish rod-like in shape. After that, this is the result of ultimate tensile strength with strength and elongation to fracture of the cast and THIXOFORMED sample. There are three types of sample. First is cast A356, second THIXOFORMED A356, and third is THIXOFORMED T6 A356. From the data in previous slide, I conduct graph of UTS, YS, and EL of A356 alloy sample. This is to make us easy to see the difference of each sample. So from this graph, we can see that the THIXOFORMED T6 A356 has the highest value of UTS, YS, and EL. The expanded strength of UTS, YS, and EL in THIXOFORMED T6 A356 were because of the change of dendritic to closed globular microstructure. As a conclusion, the THIXOFORMING process acts as secondary process to overcome effects such as porosity and void, which contribute to increase in ultimate tensile strength of the material. The comparison between the S-cast and THIXOFORMED sample shows the sample with highest UTS and yield strength were from THIXOFORMED with T6 heat treatment sample. That's all from me. Thank you.